Ava and the Forgotten Kingdom, the Lost Heir. Ava, a sprightly girl with twinkling brown eyes and a mop of unruly brown hair, lived a simple life in the bustling city of Lahore. She was an orphan, raised by her kind but overworked aunt, who ran a small tea shop. Ava loved helping her aunt, especially during the busy morning rush, her laughter echoing through the shop as she served steaming cups of chai to the locals. But beneath her cheerful exterior, Ava harbored a secret yearning for something more. A sense of belonging that she couldn't quite grasp. She spent countless hours gazing at the worn locket she always wore around her neck, a gift from her mother, passed down through generations. The locket was simple, a silver circle with an intricate design etched onto its surface. It felt warm against her skin, a constant reminder of her mother's love, even though she couldn't remember her face. One day, while cleaning the locket with a soft cloth, Ava noticed a tiny inscription on the back, almost hidden by time. It read, "Last descendant of the royal house of Accra." Ava's heart skipped a beat. What did it mean? She had never heard of Accra, but the inscription felt important, like a piece of a puzzle she had been searching for her whole life. Her aunt, who was busy preparing for the day's customers, didn't know anything about the inscription either. Ava decided to find out more about her family's past. Ava's search led her to the dusty shelves of the city's oldest library. She spent days poring over ancient books, her fingers tracing the faded ink on yellowed pages. Finally, she stumbled upon a book titled The Lost Kingdoms of Pakistan. It was a heavy tome, bound in leather and smelling of old paper and time. Ava carefully opened the book, her heart pounding with anticipation. The book spoke of a forgotten kingdom, Accra, nestled in the heart of the Himalayas, ruled by a benevolent king and queen. Their lineage was said to be blessed with extraordinary powers, capable of harnessing the very essence of nature. But the kingdom had vanished centuries ago, swallowed by the mountains, its people and their secrets lost to time. The book mentioned a crest, a symbol of the royal family, a majestic golden eagle with outstretched wings. Ava gasped. The crest in the book looked exactly like the design on her locket. Could she be a descendant of the royal family of Accra? The thought sent shivers down her spine. She knew she had to find out more. Ava's aunt, noticing her niece's growing obsession with the book, decided to help. She knew an old historian, Mr. Khan, who lived in a quaint house near the river. Mr. Khan was a frail man with a long white beard and kind eyes that sparkled with wisdom. He had spent his life studying the history of Pakistan, his home filled with ancient artifacts and maps. Ava and her aunt visited Mr. Khan, who listened intently to Ava's story. He examined the locket with a magnifying glass, his eyebrows furrowed in concentration. "This is indeed the crest of the royal house of Accra," he said, his voice raspy with age. "But the kingdom is a myth, a legend whispered through generations. No one has ever found any evidence of its existence." Ava's heart sank. She felt a wave of disappointment, but then Mr. Khan smiled. "But myths are often based on truths," he said. "There might be something more to this story than meets the eye. The book mentions a hidden passage leading to the kingdom, a secret known only to the royal family. Perhaps you, Ava, hold the key to unlocking this ancient secret." Ava's heart raced with excitement. She felt a surge of purpose, a sense of destiny calling her. She had to find the hidden passage, the entrance to the lost kingdom of Accra. Mr. Khan gave Ava a map, drawn by hand on a piece of parchment, showing the location of a hidden cave in the Himalayas. The cave was said to be the entrance to the kingdom. The map was old and faded, the lines barely visible. But Ava could feel a connection to it, a sense of familiarity. She knew she had to follow this map, to uncover the truth about her lineage and the lost kingdom. Ava bid farewell to her aunt and Mr. Khan, promising to return soon. She packed a small backpack with essentials, a compass, a flashlight, and a few books about the Himalayas. She was ready for her adventure. The next morning, Ava set off for the Himalayas, her heart filled with a mixture of fear and excitement. She had no idea what awaited her in the mountains, but she was determined to find the lost kingdom of Accra and uncover the truth about her past. The journey was long and arduous. Ava trekked through dense forests, climbed treacherous mountains, and crossed icy rivers. She faced harsh weather, wild animals, and moments of doubt. But she never gave up. The map led her to a remote village nestled high in the mountains. The villagers were kind and welcoming, offering her food and shelter. They told her stories about the mountains, about the lost kingdom of Accra, and the mysterious powers that were said to reside there. Ava learned about the legend of the guardians of Accra, mythical creatures said to protect the kingdom from intruders. They were described as majestic snow leopards with golden eyes and the ability to speak human languages. The villagers warned Ava to be wary of these creatures, for they were fiercely protective of their territory. Ava felt a chill run down her spine. She had never believed in mythical creatures, but the stories she heard from the villagers made her question everything she thought she knew. She had to be careful. After a few days of rest, Ava continued her journey, her heart filled with a renewed sense of purpose. She followed the map, its faded lines guiding her through the treacherous terrain. Finally, she reached the cave marked on the map. It was a dark, narrow opening hidden behind a waterfall. Ava carefully navigated the slippery rocks, her heart pounding with anticipation. As she stepped inside the cave, the air grew cold and damp. After a few days of rest, Ava continued her journey, her heart filled with a renewed sense of purpose. She followed the map, its faded lines guiding her through the treacherous terrain. Finally, she reached the cave marked on the map. It was a dark, narrow opening hidden behind a waterfall. Ava carefully navigated the slippery rocks, her heart pounding with anticipation. As she stepped inside the cave, the air grew cold and damp. In the center of the chamber, she saw a shimmering portal, a swirling vortex of light and energy. Ava's breath caught in her throat. This had to be the entrance to the lost kingdom of Accra. But as she reached out to touch the portal, a low growl echoed through the chamber. Ava froze, her heart pounding in her chest. She was not alone. From the shadows, a pair of glowing eyes emerged. They were the eyes of a snow leopard, but these were no ordinary snow leopards. They were the guardians of Accra, their fur a shimmering silver, their eyes glowing with an ethereal light. One of the leopards, a majestic creature with a long, flowing mane, stepped forward, its voice deep and resonant. "Who are you?" it asked, its gaze piercing Ava's soul. "I am Ava," she replied, her voice trembling slightly. "I am a descendant of the royal house of Accra." The leopards exchanged a silent glance. "Prove it," the first leopard said, its voice a low growl. Ava reached into her pocket and pulled out the locket. She held it up, the crest shining in the dim light. The leopards stepped closer, their eyes fixed on the locket. They sniffed the air, their noses twitching. Then, one of the leopards let out a low purr. "The scent of the royal bloodline is strong," it said. "You are indeed a descendant of the royal house of Accra." Ava felt a surge of relief. She had passed the test. The guardians of Accra had recognized her as a descendant of the royal family. "Welcome home, Princess Ava," the first leopard said, its voice filled with respect. "We have been waiting for you." The leopards led Ava to the portal, their eyes filled with a sense of purpose. "The kingdom of Accra is in danger," the second leopard said, its voice grave. "A dark force has risen, threatening to destroy everything we hold dear. Only you, Princess Ava, can save our kingdom." Ava's heart sank. She had come to the kingdom hoping to learn about her past, but now she was being called upon to save it. She knew she had to be brave, to face the darkness that threatened to consume Accra. She took a deep breath and stepped through the portal, ready to face whatever awaited her. The portal spun Ava around, a kaleidoscope of light and color. When the spinning stopped, Ava found herself in a breathtaking valley, bathed in the golden light of the setting sun. The valley was filled with lush greenery, sparkling waterfalls, and towering trees that seemed to touch the sky. In the distance, she saw a magnificent city, its walls shimmering with gold and jewels. This was Accra, the Lost Kingdom. But something was wrong. The city was shrouded in a dark mist, its once vibrant colors dulled and lifeless. Ava felt a chill run down her spine. The kingdom was in danger, just as the guardians had warned her. She knew she had to act quickly. She had to find out what was happening and how she could save Accra. Ava made her way towards the city, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. As she got closer, she saw that the mist was alive, swirling and pulsating with a dark energy. She could feel its presence, its malevolent intent. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the mist, a tall, imposing man with piercing red eyes and a cruel smile. He wore a black robe, adorned with symbols that seemed to writhe and twist like living creatures. "Welcome, Princess Ava," he said, his voice a chilling whisper. "I have been waiting for you." Ava felt a wave of fear wash over her. This was the dark force that threatened Accra, the one the guardians had warned her about. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. "I am Mocker," he said, his eyes burning with an unholy fire. "And I am here to claim what is rightfully mine." Ava realized that Mocker was not just any enemy. He was a powerful sorcerer, driven by a thirst for power and a desire to rule Accra. She knew she had to stop him, but she didn't know how. She was just a young girl, an orphan from Lahore, facing a powerful sorcerer who threatened to destroy an entire kingdom. But she had to be brave. She had to find a way to defeat Mocker and save Accra. Ava knew she couldn't defeat Mocker in a direct confrontation. He was too powerful. She needed to find a way to outsmart him, to exploit his weaknesses. She remembered the stories the villagers had told her about the powers of the royal house of Accra. They were said to be able to harness the power of nature, to control the elements. Ava knew she had to find a way to tap into these powers, to use them against Mocker. She spent the next few days exploring the city, searching for clues about her ancestors and their powers. She visited the royal palace, a grand structure built of white marble and gold, its walls adorned with intricate carvings. She found a hidden library, filled with ancient scrolls and books. Ava spent hours reading the scrolls, learning about the history of the royal house of Accra and their connection to the natural world. She learned about the power of the Accra stone, a legendary artifact said to hold the key to unlocking the powers of the royal bloodline. Ava knew she had to find the Accra stone. It was her only hope of defeating Mocker. Ava's search led her to the heart of the city, to a hidden temple dedicated to the ancient gods of Accra. The temple was a magnificent structure, carved from a single piece of rock, its walls covered in intricate carvings and symbols. Inside the temple, Ava found a secret chamber, guarded by a giant stone statue of a lion. The statue was ancient, its eyes glowing with a faint light. Ava knew this was where the Accra stone was hidden. She had to find a way to get past the lion statue. She remembered the stories about the royal house of Accra, about their ability to communicate with animals. She tried to speak to the lion, but it remained silent. Then, Ava remembered the locket, the crest of the royal house of Accra. She held it up to the lion, its golden eagle gleaming in the dim light. The lion's eyes widened, its gaze fixed on the locket. Ava felt a connection to the lion, a sense of understanding. She knew she had to show the lion that she was worthy of entering the chamber. She took a deep breath and spoke to the lion in a soft, gentle voice. "I am Ava, a descendant of the royal house of Accra. I come in peace. I need your help." The lion remained silent for a moment, its gaze fixed on Ava. Then, it let out a low growl, a sound that was not threatening, but rather a sign of respect. The lion stepped aside, allowing Ava to enter the chamber. Ava stepped inside, her heart pounding with anticipation. In the center of the chamber, she saw a pedestal, and on it, a shimmering stone, pulsing with a warm, golden light. This was the Accra stone. Ava reached out and touched the stone. A wave of energy surged through her, filling her with a sense of power and purpose. She knew she had found what she was looking for. She had found the key to defeating Mocker and saving Accra. Ava felt a surge of confidence. She was no longer just a young orphan from Lahore. She was Princess Ava, the last descendant of the royal house of Accra, and she was ready to reclaim her kingdom.